Yesterday we did a whole bunch of coverage, like 50 minutes, like 55 minutes or some shit, whatever the fuck it shook out to be. But now today we have specific cases that we can point to. We don't really know any of the verbiage. We don't have any of the text right now, at least a concise breakdown of the OSHA regulated mandate in order to force everybody to get the jabs. But what we knew was that there was a bunch of saber rattling off in the distance about different attorney generals and different even governors themselves saying that we're going to be fighting this, well, quite frankly, unlawful, unconstitutional vaccine mandate, and 11 states have at least put their name to this one. So this one's already been filed, so let's go. Attorney generals in 11 states filed a lawsuit Friday against President Joe Biden's administration in a challenge against new vaccine mandates for workers and firms with 100 or more employees. The lawsuit filed in the Missouri-based 8th Circuit Court of Appeals argued that only states have the power to compel vaccinations, not the federal government. All right. Arguing that the mandate is unconstitutional, unlawful, and unwise, the Attorney Generals led by Republican Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt said that over a century, the United States Supreme Court has recognized that policies on compulsory vaccination lie within the police powers of the states. Okay, that's kind of double-edged news because, okay, good, the federal government can't force you to do that, but then at the same time, oh, the states can. So I guess that little caveat of there being specific states' rights, that does hold some water, okay? At least on 11 attorney generals' understanding of the amendment to the United States Constitution. We're just going to have to wait to see if any judge is going to agree with that, and who really knows, because this is, honestly guys, this is probably the fight of a lifetime, at least my lifetime. Like, I don't see anything else. It's been quite so vehemently opposed from at least one side, and something that's going to have such overarching ramifications into the, you know, the future, really. But yeah, it lies in the police powers of the state, and that they are matters that do not ordinarily concern the national government. Fair enough. On Thursday, the Department of Labor's Occupational Health and Safety published a rule that requires the companies to either have their workers to get vaccinated or submit weekly tests or face hefty fines of tens of thousands of dollars, starting off with $14,000 per infraction, and then it just ratchets up from there, and the entire thing is ratchet. But that's, I don't think the kids say that one anymore. I think that one kind of fell out of vogue. Same with using the term vogue. But anyways, in a statement announcing the move, Biden said that he wishes that he didn't have to resort to sweeping mandates. No, he was just waiting to do this. Maybe, I don't know, somebody, at least in the administration. I can't really say that Joe was really looking forward to anything except for somebody to just change his diaper. As we've seen with businesses, large and small, across the sectors of our economy, the overwhelming majority of Americans chose to get vaccinated, so we need to punish the rest of them by charging them out the ass and making them stick Q-tips up their nose. Biden said in a statement, "There have been no mass firings and worker shortages." Oh, at least half of that's true, but it's technically true. The best type of true, am I right? Worker shortages because of the vaccination requirements. Again, that's just a lie. Just take a look at the airline industry. Okay. Oh no, it's all weather. And it's like, really? Cool. Just wait a couple of days and then it'll come out. It's like, yeah, it was vaccine mandates. Whatever. However, according to Friday's lawsuit, Schmidt and others said the federal government lacks constitutionality under its enumerated powers to issue the mandate. Arizona, Nebraska, Montana, Arkansas, Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska, New Hampshire, and Wyoming joined in on Missouri's lawsuit. Again, there's two states that specifically stick out on this one, okay, and a few more than I can think of that immediately come to mind, but where's Texas, and where's Florida on this one, okay? But we have a statement out of Florida, so don't worry, they're going to be doing something here shortly, but we'll get to that after we get through this. Schmidt added that Missouri has about 3,443, sorry, that number looked a little weird, private employers who could be impacted by federal vaccine requirements, with nearly 1.3 million employees. But everybody, overwhelmingly, they've been vaccinated, so we need to just knock it off, because it's the best and most effective way to fight the vaccine, or fight the pandemic, or whatever the fuck they're saying. Who gives a shit? I give a lot about the mandates, okay? Don't get it twisted. It's just their justification changes with the wind. Attorney General said the lawsuit is designed to protect the personal freedoms, preserve Missouri businesses, and push back on bureaucratic tyrants who simply want power and control. 100% the case, okay? It's not resonating well, even within their own party. But again, you gotta kind of take this with a grain of salt, because it is, okay, it's a Democrat governor speaks out against Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. But it's the governor of Kentucky. So again, their electorate and their House, okay, the House and the Senate are controlled by Republicans, and for whatever reason, Laura Kelly became the governor. I don't know the circumstance that led to that, but again, there's a few big cities in Kansas, so it makes a little bit more sense, I guess. But clearly, by leftist logic, this is no longer a simple partisan issue, because one person came out in defense of individual liberty, and I'm thankful for that. It's now a bipartisan issue, so the uniformity of the left once again just kind of crumbles, because it always happens with them. Like, come on. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, a Democrat, said she opposes President Joe Biden's requirement that businesses with 100 or more employees get the COVID-19 vaccine or submit to regular testing. And don't worry, that won't be staying at just 100 employee businesses, because they've already let leak, okay, that they're looking at going under that 100 threshold, because who could have seen that coming, right? Kelly, who is up for re-election next year, that makes a lot more sense, said that she believes Thursday's mandate unveiled by the Department of Labor wouldn't be the most effective move. All right. It is too late to impose a federal standard now that we have already developed systems and strategies that are tailored for our specific needs. All right. I will seek a resolution that continues to recognize the uniqueness of our state and builds on our ongoing efforts to combat a once in a century crisis. It almost sounds like you're planning for something some 95 years from now. Interesting. During a Kansas City area event hosted Thursday, Kelly said she supports encouraging people to get the vaccine rather than imposing requirements. Fair enough. Okay. If that's your opinion on things, if you don't, you know what, hey, want to listen to the testimony of other people's first-hand evidence, or hey, just take a look at the evidence themselves, then yeah, by all means. And it really doesn't much matter. Say whatever the fuck you want. Just don't force anybody to do anything that they don't want to. I think we can all agree on that. Sort of. Actually, we probably all can't, because most people, at least in the government, tend to think that they know how to control your life better than you know how to live it. On Friday, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt and 10 others filed said lawsuit, and now we're going to go over to Florida and seeing what the hell Ron DeSantis is doing. He announces a lawsuit, so he's filing his own lawsuit in accordance. So, see who has the better lawsuit, I guess? Oh, that's cool. So I guess he's getting his Attorney General to draft this up, because I don't know if Ron has a law degree, but I'd imagine somebody there does. So he announced on, November 4th, so yesterday, must have just missed that, and must have came in just under the wire, that he is suing the Biden administration over its unconstitutional employer vaccine mandate being issued throughout the the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. DeSantis said in a statement that the lawsuit against the administration would be filed with, so it's yet to be filed, okay? He's just announced that he is going to be suing him. With the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, the one governing the Southeast, okay? As soon as OSHA's Unlawful Emergency Temporary Standard is published in the Federal Register. Yeah, okay. On Thursday, OSHA announced details of the plan, and Ron's already kind of nipped it in the bud. The White House has pushed back the deadline for workers in those sectors to get fully vaccinated to January 4th, and that's the drop-dead date for literally everybody. And yeah, need not add any more commentary, but take that as you will. The governor said the vaccine mandate will drastically impact Florida companies, both public and private. Yeah, because it is wide-ranging over both public and private industry, okay? Who receive millions of dollars in federal contracts annually. We started with 15 days to slow the spread. Boy, doesn't everybody remember that some just about 22 months ago. Okay, couple weeks time, or 21, sorry. Don't need to give them an extra month. We'll be living through it, but, you know, we'll just tally it up as we get to that point. Yeah, 15 days to slow the spread, and now it's get jabbed or lose your job. Base. We're supposed to be the government of laws, not the government of men. Okay, I see what you did there. This OSHA rule is 500 pages of a government of bureaucracy, a government that is being run by executive edict, not a government bound by constitutional constraints. If anybody wants to pull up that old tweet from Joe Biden, I'm going to be a president that's not going to be ruling by dictatorial edict. He didn't type that. I'm just paraphrasing. You know, like Orange Man did. It's like, yeah, cool. How many executive orders have you signed? Oh, okay. Anyways, the state of Florida will immediately challenge the OSHA rule in court because it's inconsistent with the Constitution and not legally authorized through congressional statutes. There is no federal police power, and the federal government cannot unilaterally impose medical policy under the guise of workplace regulation. Individuals should make informed choices about their own health care. It is important to stand up for people's individual ability to make the decisions for themselves, and the practical results is that this is going to exacerbate a lot of existing problems that we are seeing with the economy. Yeah. Because there will be enough people. I'm not going to say it's going to be the majority. I'm not even going to say it's going to be some kind of a plurality of people out there that are just going to say, fuck you, I'm not doing this stuff. It's going to be enough to disrupt the flow of the economy, and we already know it's just kind of a high wire balancing act at this point. So if you're going to go ahead and you're going to try to force this, it's really going to throw things into a disaster, and we can just kind of extrapolate really what they're attempting to do with this, but you can't really take anything off the table, whether it's some Machiavellian plan in order to just centralize all of the economy under one big government roof, or it's just seeing how much they can get away with. It's like, I don't really know, but they're trying it, so got to fight back on it, because if you just let them get away with this, it's not going to stop with a jab for a virus that has a 99.8% survivability rate for most of the country. Anyways, now we're starting to get private business to chime in on this one, okay? You know, the big private businesses that overwhelmingly fund Democrats in comparison to Republicans. At least kind of the outsider Republicans. When it comes to the establishment types, yeah, they just kiss the same ass. Okay, Democrats get one ass cheek and Republicans get the other. But several big business groups expressed a displeasure with Biden's private employer COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Several large business groups on Thursday said President Joe Biden's latest COVID-19 vaccine requirement was poorly planned. No, not from this administration. Something poorly planned? It's the type of stuff you expect for, I don't know, Afghanistan, not on your own home soil, and would burden employers during the holiday season. Yep. Mandate announced by Biden in September was released to the public on the 4th. It requires employees, with 100 or more employees. Yeah, we need not just run that back over and over again. Ugh, David French, fuck off. He's one of those boomer cons with just bad takes on everything. So, yeah. If you're sick of reading like Joe Walsh tweets, yeah, check out David French. The senior vice president of National Retail Foundation said retailers have taken extraordinary measures during the pandemic to protect employees and customers, including encouraging and mandating vaccination. Yeah, okay. So putting on a further layer of mandation, is that a word? Don't really know. Sounds like something two bros do when they're just a little bit too drunk, but that would further burden the economy. Since the president's announcement of the vaccine mandate for private industry, the 7-day average number of cases in the United States has plummeted by more than half. Okay, so I guess maybe the virus is scared of the mandate, so it's deciding to peace out. Thank you, Joe. You're just so brilliant. Now I know why you got 81 million votes, because you're just such a great forethinker. Nevertheless, the Biden administration has chosen to declare an emergency and impose burdensome new requirements on retailers during the crucial holiday shopping season, he said in a statement. Michael Hansen, a senior executive vice president for the Retail Industry Leader Association, said the deadline of January 4th was disappointing because planning and implementation would fall during the busiest part of the shopping season. And yeah, can you really start to make long-term plans for your company if you don't know who's going to be around in order to help you out achieve your goals? Or how much money you need to set aside in order to pay for these retarded fines? Something like that. Hansen also said the retailers want to serve as partners in the push to increase vaccination rates. It's not their job. They shouldn't be doing that. But decried the fines threatening the Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which promulgated the mandate in an emergency standard. It pits government against private employees instead of working with them to create a safe working environment. The sentences are hard sometimes. Large groups, including the association, had urged the Biden administration to allow at least 90 days for implementation. So yeah, they're not actually, like, nobody here is saying that this is a bad idea. They're just like, oh, it's so hasty and you just need to kick the can down the road a little bit further. It's kind of a wink wink and a nudge nudge, but yeah, I don't care what the rest of these fucking boomer cons have to say. Oh, speaking of which, we got a neocon now. It's like, okay, I make reference to him when he's relevant to the topic that I'm just speaking on, but I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro. I just think that he's, you know what, he does a good job with the Daily Wire, but his opinions are just so milquetoast that someone who makes Tim Pool look like an intellectual is just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of milk, rather room temperature tea. But Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire suing a Biden administration over tyrannical vaccine mandate. That's good. Okay, more mid-sized businesses need to start doing this. I'm not too sure it might lay out if he has over 100 employees there. I wouldn't be surprised if you just, like, the different freelancers that they have for their website or for their content producing side of things. Like, I would think that probably all the affiliated companies, when you add them all up together, probably is at or above that 100 employee mark. But anyways, yeah, still, you're going to be an aggrieved party at one point or another, so might as well get out ahead of this, okay? The Daily Wire, a news website founded by conservative political commentator Ben Shapiro. Yeah, why he founded that was, it was foundationally created on a lie, because he was editor-in-chief at Breitbart. I can't remember his official title or something, but yeah. If you want to go down a line of thought, okay, when it comes to Ben Shapiro, just go back and run that story back from 2016. In a statement issued Thursday, the Daily Wire said that Dillon Law Group and Alliance Defending Freedom had filed a lawsuit on their behalf, against the federal government, the United States Court of Appeals, and the Sixth Circuit. Okay, that's good. Dillon Law Group is great, and the Alliance Defending Freedom, I might have heard of them, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Dillon Law Group, that's a good one to be a part of. Attorneys for the Daily Wire will also file an emergency motion to stay the mandate. All right. In September, the Biden administration announced, yes, all this kind of fun stuff. This week, the administration released a new rule. The White House said it is pushing back the deadline. The Daily Wire will not comply with President Biden's tyrannical vaccine mandate, and we are suing the Biden administration to put a stop for their gross overreach. Daily Wire co-founder and co-CEO Jeremy Boring said in a statement, President Biden, the federal government, social media, that's weird to lump in third, and the establishment media have conspired to rob Americans of their freedoms in the name of public health. Yeah, it's an old tactic that's been used by many a petty tyrant throughout the years. They have broken faith with the American people through conflicting messaging, false information, and by suppressing data and perspectives with which they disagree. Absolutely. Safe and effective, right? And horse paste, and pick your favorite bit of government-sanctioned and big tech-promoted misinformation. A lawsuit filed on Thursday alleges the Biden administration lacks constitutionality and statutory authority to issue the employer mandate, and that the mandate failed to meet the requirements for issuing a rule taking effect immediately without the normal process of considering public comments. Dillon Law Group partner Harmeet Dillon said the federal government does not have the legal authority to compel private employers to ensure their employees get vaccinated against COVID-19. Let's see what she uses as justification for this, because once again, I've had theories running through my head as well, but let's see if a really good lawyer has something to say on the same thing. And that the administration lacks both the constitutional power and the police power to regulate every aspect of our lives and enforce such a mandate. The Biden administration's attempt to impose this unprecedented and unlawful federal medical mandate on the United States workforce without considering the public's views is arbitrary, capricious, unsupported, and by the evidence, and would produce a willfully ignorant rule. Yeah. And also, forcing millions and millions of people to forego their own medical privacy is kind of ridiculous. We've never done this before with anything more deadly throughout all of history, but now all of a sudden it's something. It's like, this is just such the perfect virus to be doing this, because it's just so agreeable. Because yeah, okay, people have died from it, obviously, but it's one of those test cases that, you know what, hey, if they decide, or if all these big government overreaches fail, like hopefully they do, there is always just going to be the little weasel out that, oh, what if something worse comes along? And they were able to take advantage of this situation, so the next time the next one shows up, that they can just pick up right here and then just continue on. You need to set the precedent right now that there is no going any farther than this. Already seceded enough ground, especially Rich coming from Ben Shapiro, who is all behind mask mandates and lockdowns at the beginning. Again, just a neocon with real shit takes, and his wife's a doctor. But yeah, just to wrap up here real quickly, because again, this one's running a little bit long, but we got a lot of shit to talk about, so I don't really feel bad about that. Biden's mad because he's failing literally everywhere. They were supposed to be voting on, you know, his agenda, his trillions of dollars worth of agenda, and it's like nobody wants to fucking vote for him. Again, that's another reason why we highlighted that Kansas governor, a Democrat, is so against his vaccine mandate as well. It's because he can't unify his own party, right? He said, oh, I'm gonna be a president for all Americans. You're not doing that. Nobody believes you when you say that. Nobody should have believed you when you initially said it, but you just proven that over and over again. And now your party, which has been fragmented long before you took the reins of it, but now those divides are getting even deeper and more things are getting taken out, which are pet projects of certain sides of the aisle within the Democratic Party. Okay, so paid leave, college tuition forgiveness, universal healthcare for all that type of shit is just getting left by the wayside. Okay. And that is pissing off, not the biggest, okay, not even half, okay, but a sizable portion of the Democratic Party, and even more of the base are getting disenfranchised by the removal and the walking back of different ideas and different policies that these idiots campaigned on. But hey, if you actually voted for them thinking that they'd go ahead and give you literally everything for free, sucks to be that stupid, I suppose. Democrats have been forced to postpone a vote on President Joe Biden's ambitious agenda consisting of the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill and the $1.7 trillion budget bill. Oh, the decision to postpone the vote, which was supposed to be happening today, coming after negotiations with moderates, fell through. Which ones are those again? Is another loss for the party. Oh man, taking more fucking L's. And you guys control everything and you can't fucking figure it out. Wow, that's just that's a damning indictment on you. Same thing happened with Trump during his first couple of years before the Democrats took back the House, and that's because Paul Ryan, not too terribly dissimilar to the progressive wing of the Republicans, but, oh, I'm sorry, the progressive wing of the Democrats, sorry, I was thinking about Paul Ryan and his, well, I guess actually the progressive is probably a fair description for him anyways, because of the misnomer that he's actually a Republican and he's not just a bootlicking cuck. That's just a little bit too long of an abbreviation at the end of his name, but now he's on the board for Fox News, so there's another reason I don't like to use them as a source anymore, because nothing is worse than a traitor. But anyways, yeah, back to the bill that's not going to get voted on, and it's probably just going to get kicked into how long is the government funded for? Until December? Yeah, probably December. Don't expect much movement throughout the rest of the month. That's at least just my opinion. The decision to postpone the vote, coming after negotiations with moderates fell through, is another loss for the party. The legislative agenda is now a month's off schedule, as leadership still cannot rally enough votes behind either bill to advance them individually or together. No shit. There was a report as well that Biden's making individual phone calls to certain people who are on the fence right now in order to try to just really stir up and energize the base. I'm sure most of those calls are going to voicemail, or they're just getting filtered out for spam. In a Tuesday letter to Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, moderates said that they have several conditions that must be met before they would support the budget bill. 5 moderates, Representatives Josh Gottomer of New Jersey, Jared Golden of Maine, Stephanie Murphy of Florida, Kurt Schrader of Oregon, and Ed Case of Hawaii, that's fucking weird, signed the letter expressing these demands. All right, we cannot lend our support to advancing the Build Back Better Act until we have had a chance to review these scores. No, you're supposed to just pass it and then they'll figure out what the fuck is in it, which provide the true cost of the legislation. No, it's going to be free, don't worry about it. Specifically, they demanded 72 hours to review the text of the bill. It's like 2,500 pages long. We just need 3 days. Don't worry about it. Confirmation from the Senate that the upper chamber will not make any changes to the bill. That ain't happening. And the proper CBO JCT scoring information. I'm sorry, I'm a little dim when it comes to what CBO/JCT means, but I'm sure it's super important. The text of the bill, around 2,000 pages long, 2,496 was the last time that I seen how many pages were in there, but it could have already been stricken down further from that, and that would make sense as well. Was released publicly only hours before the vote was set to begin, giving lawmakers practically no time to read and digest the bill. Confirmation in the Senate that they will not change the bill has also been a high threshold to meet by Friday, as swing voters like Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin have not committed to voting for the bill at all, while progressives like Bernie Sanders have demanded that the bill be strengthened because it's never enough. We can spend your money better than you can. Nobody likes Joe, though. Nobody likes Joe. Place as many fucking phone calls as you want. You're just a colossal failure. Biden's agenda underwater. Majority say no or negative impact on their lives. Yeah, you pass that, nobody's going to care, okay? Either a pure plurality, there it is, of people don't care about it, or they think that it's negatively going to impact their economic future. But then again, no, we're supposed to be building back better. Everybody's starting to see through this fucking shit, and it makes me really optimistic, okay? At least, like I've always said, in the medium to long term. For the next year or so, shit's gonna be shakier than Michael J. Fox with a martini glass. But I think once we get through this rough patch, things are going to be alright. At least for America. And can't speak about the rest of the developed world. The majority of Americans believe that President Joe Biden's Build Back Better agenda will have either no or negative impact on their lives, with a full plurality believing the impact will be negative. Meanwhile, 50% of Americans disapprove of President Joe Biden's job performance. Yeah, oh my god. So his approval ratings actually dropped another point. That sucks. The November Emerson College national poll found that while 50% of Americans disapprove of the president's job in general, I fucked up that reading, whatever, only 41% approve. Fuck. This marks a drastic reversal from Biden's February polling, which was 49% approval and 39% disapproved. All right. We got those numbers up. They were rookie numbers. Seemingly the most important in the poll, however, is the revelation regarding Biden's agenda, which congressional Democrats are attempting to pass out of Congress again this week. It's failed. 39% of Americans believe the Build Back Better bill would have a negative impact on their lives. Why would it? It's free, and things that are free are good, right? While 34% believe that it would have a positive impact. 34% of people are fucking retarded. 16% will believe it will have no impact, and 11 people, I don't know, could probably tell you what the best series on fucking network television is because they're unsure. That means a majority, 55%, believe that Biden's and Democrats' agenda will have either no or negative impacts on their lives. And that right there is pretty fucking damning, considering the Democratic Party is slightly the larger party in the country, and they can't even rally their own base, okay? They can't even get half of their base to agree with their direction. It's almost like there's a massive disconnect between the elites and the people in the party itself. Who would have thought that? But anyways, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.